Hello everyone, this is Professor Smitha Nadir from IMSB School Hubli, working as assistant professor. So today I am going to explain you one practical problem on capital budgeting. So what is capital budgeting? So capital budgeting, the name itself says that capital is an initial investment which is going to invest into the business. Budgeting is the process of estimating the future cash flows, future expenditures and the incomes. So capital budgeting, it is a process to know like the investment which is going to make in new projects or new plants or buying new machineries or replacement of new machineries, like to know whether it is worth enough for funding into the business or no. To know that, we are going to calculate the capital budgeting. There are many parameters to know, like there are like payback period method, IRR method, that is internal rate of return method, NPV method. So one practical problem we are going to solve it now. So one problem, a firm whose cost of capital is 10% is considering two mutually exclusive machine A and B, the details of which are, they have given 5-year information, machine A and machine B, that two alternative machineries are there. So same money, the 70,000 rupees we are going to invest into machine A and machine B. So we just want to know which one is good for the investment. Okay, either machine A or machine B, which is the feasible for investment, and which machine is giving our investment back, like when it is going to give back our investment, what is the internal rate of return, suppose if I invest in machine A and machine B. And 70,000 rupees is the initial investment, and first year the cash flows are 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 45,000 and the 60,000. And for machine B, cash flows are 50,000, 40,000, 20,000, 10,000 and 10,000. So they have asked us to calculate payback period method, profitability index, net present value method and the discount rate of 10%, internal rate of return method. Okay, there are 4 methods, we will solve it one by one. First one is payback period method. Machine A, initial investment is 70,000 rupees. So year 1 cash flow is 10,000, year 2 is 20,000. So the same cash flows what they have given, I have written it here. And the cumulative cash flows are, cumulative means we have to add the cash flows. See, 10,000 plus 20,000 is 30,000, 30,000 plus 30,000 is 60,000, 60,000 plus 45,000 is 1,05,000, 1,05,000 plus 60,000 is 1,65,000. That is what is cumulative cash flow. So we have to add all the cash inflows. So okay, and why I have given a blue mark on the 60,000? So payback period method, the payback period, see, like it shows that, so when we are going to take back our initial investment from the machinery or from the investment. Okay, initial investment was 70,000 rupees. On the third year, so we have received 60,000 rupees, but not 70,000 rupees. But the fourth year, the cumulative cash inflow is 1,05,000 rupees. We are going to receive 1,05,000 rupees. But we want to know the actual period when we are going to take back our 70,000 rupees. So it lies between third and fourth year. Okay. So 60,000 we have received in the year on third year, and fourth year we have received 1,05,000. Extra money we have received. We don't want extra money. We just want to know when we are going to take back our 70,000 rupees. So very simple formula is that years before full recovery. Years before full recovery was third year, and unrecovered cost at start of the year is like unrecovered cost is how much? 70,000 we have to receive, but 60,000 we have received on third year. So 10,000 rupees we have to receive it, and divided by cash flow during the year. Cash flow during the year was fourth year. The next third year, after third year, the fourth year, the cash flow was 45,000 divided by 45,000. So our like we are going to collect our 70,000 rupees on 3.22 years. Okay, this is the simple payback period method. And same for machine B also. Machine B cash inflows are 50,000, 40,000, 20,000, 10,000 and 10,000. And cumulative cash inflow same, 50 plus 40 is 90, 90 plus 20 is 110, 110 plus 10,000 is 1,20,000, 1,20,000 plus 10,000 is 1,30,000. So see, our initial investment is 70,000 rupees. On the first year we have received 50,000, second year we have received 90,000, it has crossed 70,000. So our the payback period lies between first and second year itself. So first year plus 20,000 we need to receive divided by the cash inflow of second year is 40,000. So for machine B we are going to receive our money on 1.5 years. It means within one and a half year we are going to collect our 70,000 rupees from machine B. And see, machine B can give its initial investment in 1.5 years compared to machine A in 3.22 years. Next one is discounted payback period method. Now just now we calculated a simple one, simple payback period method. Okay. Under this method, the present value of all cash outflows and inflows are compared to an appropriate discount rate. The project which gives a shorter discounted payback period is accepted. See, the discounted percentage is 10%. So here same values we have to write, cash flows also. Present value of cash flow, the discounted percentage is R is 10%. Okay. The formula to calculate present value of cash flow is 10,000, that is cash flow divided by 1 plus R raised to N. N is what? Number of years. R is discounted rate of return. So one is simple payback period method, another one is discounted payback period method. So here we have to use discounted rate of return. So present, first before calculating the cumulative cash flow we need to calculate the present value of cash flow. So 10,000 cash first year cash flow divided by 1 plus R, R is 0.1, that is 10%, raised to 1 is equal to 9090.90, and same thing we have to calculate for all the 5 years. Then and this amount we have to add it like cumulative cash flow. First year was 70,000, second year, see we have deducted the cumulatives from 70,000. See, if you want you can add it also. See, from 70,000 9,090.90, so remaining amount is how much? 60,909. So like this we have to deduct like from 60,909.1 to we have to subtract 16,528.93. And same thing, see our payback period lies between third and fourth year. How? So on the third year our like we need to collect 21,840 rupees, but on the fourth year we have collected 70,000 rupees and extra 8,000 we have collected. Okay. So we just want to know the exact value of it. See, third year plus 21,840.73 was the cumulative cash flow divided by fourth year present value of cash flow is 30,735.6. Why we have considered the present value of cash flow of fourth year? Because the 70,000 the payback period lies between third and fourth year. So under a simple payback period method, the payback period is 3.22 years of machine A, but under discounted payback period method, so 3.71 years is the payback period. So simple, here we need to calculate the present value of cash flow, and that amount we have to subtract from the initial investment, where our money will get where we will get the plus figures. Then we have to consider the consider that year as a cash flow, okay, the third and fourth year. And same for machine B, same they have given, and here also we need to calculate the present value of cash flow. And present value of cash flow, the same formula, cash flow divided by 1 plus r raised to n. And see here our initial investment is 70,000 rupees. First year we have received 45,454.54, okay, and we have to subtract 70,000 from 45,454.54. Our cumulative cash flow is minus 24,545.46, and second year we have got the plus value. It means our initial investment like our payback period lies between first and second year, but we just want to know the exact value. So 1 plus 24,554 is the minus value, so we need to consider that. It means we need to collect that much amount from the machine B, like from investment, and divided by what is the cash flow, present value of cash flow of second year was 33,057 rupees 0.85 paise. So our payback period is 1.74 years, okay. But in simple payback period method, for machine B it was 1.5 years. Next one is profitability index. So profitability index, it is the ratio of the present value of cash flow to the initial investment of the project. So it is to know the how much profit we are going to gain out of the, yeah. See, a profitability index, it is a financial tool which tells us whether an investment should be accepted or rejected. So if the PI is greater than 1, it indicates that present value of future cash inflows from the investment is more than the initial investment. See, our initial investment is 70,000. Here we are going to calculate the total present value of cash flow. If it is greater than initial investment, we have to accept the project. If it is less than the initial investment, then obviously we have to reject it. We are not going to collect our money also, okay. So in this machine A, the present value of cash inflow is 1,16,150. So our initial investment is 70,000 rupees. It means it is more than the initial investment, and here we have to calculate the ratio. To know the ratio, total present value of cash flow divided by initial investment. So we'll get 1.66 is the answer, and if it is greater than 1, we need to accept the project. If it is less than 1, we have to reject the project. And same for machine B also. And machine B, initial investment again 70,000 rupees, and total present value of cash flow is 1,06,578.3. It means it is above the initial investment, and machine A and machine B both have both the present value of cash flow is above the initial investment, is more than the initial investment. So both project, in terms of profitability index, we can accept both the project, but profitability index for machine B is 1.52. Next is net present value method. It is the excess of present value of cash inflow over present value of cash outflow. So see, in the profitability index, we are going to divide the initial investment like present value of cash flow from the initial investment. So we are going to calculate the ratios. Here we are going to, net present value is how much? The difference between the present value of cash flow and the initial investment. That is what is net present value. Okay, net present value should be positive, not should be negative. So in this machine A, net present value is 46,150.15. So that is present value of cash flow is 1,16,150.15 minus initial investment is 70,000. So the remaining amount is 46,150.15 is considered as a net present value method. And see, I have already explained you how to calculate the present value of cash flow in the previous slides. Net present value method for machine B. Same, we have to add total present value of cash flow, then we have to subtract the initial investment. So for machine B it is 36,578. When we compare with the machine A is giving machine A's NPV is more than the machine B. Last one is internal rate of return. So which is very important tool to know what is the internal rate of return for my investment. See, here also we have to calculate the payback values first. Okay, payback values are formula is initial cash outlays divided by average cash inflow, and machine A initial cash outlay is 70,000 rupees. Average cash inflow means we have to add all the cash flows divided by number of years, then we will get 33,000 as the average cash inflow, and same for machine B also. And when we know this payback value for machine A 2.121 and for machine B it is 2.692, and you have to refer annuity table of present cash flow. Then you have to check in where this 2.121 lies, this payback value 2.121 in which percentage it is lies between. So when we refer this present value of factor in the annuity table, okay, against the 5th year you have to check 5th year where this 2.121 lies, in which percentage. And when we saw this 2.121%, it lies between 36 to 37%. Exact value it has not come. So 36 to 37% it lies between. And for the same machine B, the payback value is 2.692. Okay, and this against this 5th year 2.692 lies between 25%. Okay, so 25%. So here what we have to do, 36 and 37% for machine A and 25 to 27%, or you can consider 27, 28, anything randomly also you can check it out. Okay, and see what happened in machine A, the initial cash inflows are less. Okay, but in machine B initial cash inflows are high when we compare to machine A. So what we will do, 36-37% for machine A it is bit more. So we will consider the lowest values, we will consider 27 to 28% for machine B, we will try with 27 and 28%, and for machine B we will try with 36 and 37%. See machine A IRR calculation, see year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the cash flows they have already given 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 45,000 and 60,000, and see PV factor 27%, okay, and 28% we are just trying. You can try with 36, 38 first, then later you can reduce your percentage, but like again this is trial and error method. See 27 and 28% we are trying, same formula you have to use. Okay, 27% for first year was 0.787, okay, that is 1 plus r raised to n, 1 divided by 1 plus r raised to n you have to calculate. So the value is 0.787, and for second year 1 divided by 1 plus r raised to n, that is 0.620, and same thing you have to calculate for other years also 3, 4, 5, and 28% same. 1 divided by 1 plus r, 1 plus r is 0.828%. So you will get 0.781, and the second year 0.610, third year is 0.477, fourth year is 0.373, fifth year is 0.291, and the total present value how to calculate, 10,000 into 0.787, 20,000 into 0.620 is 12,400, 30,000 into 0.488 is 14,640, 45,000 into 0.384 is 17,280. 60,000 into 0.303 is 18,180. The total present value is 70,370. It means our initial investment, before that we will just calculate for 28%. Same 20,000 into 0.781 is 7,810. So like this you have to multiply with all the 5 years, and your total PV is 68,565, and for 27% it is 70,370. See here you just check which percentage is giving more NPV than 70,370. And see here you have to check your initial investment, your total PV of PV should be near to your total investment, or at least it has to cross this 70,000 rupees. So that percentage is considered as the internal rate of return. See for 28% it has not crossed our 70,000 rupees our initial investment, right. So it is below the initial investment, but 27% has crossed it, it is near to 70,000, or it has crossed the 70,000 rupees. Okay. So that 27% is considered as the internal rate of return. Since the NPV is 370, only at 27% the IRR is 27%. Machine B, same I just said, the cash inflows for machine B is bit high. So we are trying with 36% and 37%. Same 1 divided by 1 plus R raised to N, that is 0.735. Okay. Same thing you have to calculate for all the years and 37% also, and multiply with the cash flows. So you will get 70,420 and 70,510. And since the NPV, see both here, both the percentage has crossed the 70,000 rupees, and here you have to consider which is near to 70,000 rupees. We just want to know the exact internal rate of return for IRR. Suppose my investment is 70,000, so what is my rate of return for 5 years? So for 37% it is 70,510, it is near to 70,000, but for 36% it has crossed 71,420. But here we have to consider 70,510, it is at 37%, so IRR is 37%. So that is what is the explanation of capital budgeting. Thank you, Anila.